Hello, and thank you for your continued consideration for this role. It looks like an amazing role, so very excited to still be considered. The question that I received was, how would I work with a client who asked how her and I could work together to help her lose weight? And what I would do is use motivational interviewing techniques combined with sharing mindfulness techniques for her to use. And I'd probably lead by asking her how she sees us working together to help her lose weight. And then go on into asking her what is her history with weight loss and why she wants to lose weight. I like to help clients get to the root of what they're really looking for. So, is she looking for, more like a physical improvement, emotional wellness, whatever it might be would lead me down the path that could best help her. And then we'd go into, I usually work to help people first build awareness and then empower them with knowledge that they might not have in terms of, since this is a weight loss client, in terms of food and body nourishment, mindful eating, getting back in tune with hunger and fullness. And then ultimately action. So how do we build a sustainable plan that works best for her? So going back to those three pillars, I usually help people work with, starting with the awareness component of it. Here's where mindfulness is huge. It really can be profound and life-changing. So I like to help them understand and identify like pattern interruption. So I might have her go through a typical day, so what does a day look like for you? And have her identify, what might be a barrier to your goal or your planning for your well-being. And based off of what she said, we'd work through what it means to interrupt a pattern. So just learning to find that initial pause. We often have just a stimulus and then a response without any space between. So by practicing mindfulness and meditation, if she was interested with that, we can create that larger space between, so that ultimately that space to pause, think, choose, and then respond rather than just stimulus response. So I would work her through that pattern interruption. So that's the awareness pillar, and that takes a lot of time. Becoming self-aware is a huge cultivator of change. So we would work a lot there. Obviously, this would be over time. This wouldn't be all in one day. And then for the knowledge pillar, being a registered dietitian, I can really help her understand her body, her fullness, her hunger signals. A lot of times if people are weight cycling, so if that's why the question I asked earlier of what was her history with weight loss is, it's huge. If they've been chronically dieting, a lot of times they're heavily out of tune with their fullness and hunger cues. So I could teach her what that means, and then second, how to get back in tune with the body, and the practice of mindful eating, really becoming aware of the food as you're eating it in the present moment. Having gratitude for the food in itself can slow us down in eating, and also becoming self-aware of what's leading us to eat. Is it an external cue? Is it truly an internal cue? And the mindful eating component of it would take us a while to work through as well. In addition to that, eating to both nourish and satisfy the body. We're taught through diets a lot of times not to listen to the body, so we would work to what I call undiet. And then we would build a plan. So probably towards the beginning, we would build a plan, but make sure that it's a sustainable plan. So not solely focusing on outcomes, but working through true behaviors and really getting to even below the behaviors, more to the root of why she's currently doing the things that she's doing that maybe aren't serving her well-being best. We don't do things unless they serve us in some way. Now, that there's often a conflict there between if it's serving our well-being or not. So we'd have to work to determine why she's doing the current things that she's doing.